Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi. And she yells, oh, girl, you gotta hear this one. A man was arrested for running a theme park, and when they said, where's your license? He said, my dog ate it. Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one. Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, you'll never guess what's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well today. It is September 11th, 24 years to the day of the worst day in, I can say, my lifetime. Yesterday was kind of comparable. Sorry, I have no light on. I don't give a crap. I'm in the dark. All I can say is, how about we get some bitches fired? How about we get some bitches fired? This is my unfiltered, I don't give a flying fuck. I usually am not one for cancel culture. However, some people have pushed some buttons way too far, have fucked with the wrong people. Do you notice how yesterday, and I'm sorry I'm not doing hellos, but I got shit to say, and Mr. Squid is still a little woozy on anesthesia this morning, and you know, but he is home, he is good. He is eating everything in the house, and then he's going to rest and relax and take a break. I am all for believing whatever you want to believe. I've said on this channel, for those of you who haven't followed me back before the what the hell stuff, I used to do political streams, but I would do it as like fact checking the media. We would fact check political ads on both sides. I don't discriminate. I hate everybody. I want to make sure everybody is telling us the fucking truth. I don't care who you are. Like, I don't care what side of the political aisle. I want to make sure that you are accurate and truthful in what you're saying. And in this stream, everybody has always been welcome. Flash fan, he's not here right now. He is running a live stream of a trial in his own Discord, but he knows that I use him as an example, and he's okay with it, as far as I know. On paper, Flash fan and I would be completely opposite as far as identity politics. Flash fan sat and watched young black Democrat from DC. White, middle-aged, God, I can say that now, can't I? White, middle-aged, semi-Republican, I would say libertarian-ish without the craziness of that. However, in here, everybody has always been accepted as long as you can, one, respect everybody else and that everybody will not have the same opinion as you, and two, you can articulate why you think what you think and not just, well, this person told me to, or this person said this. Um, yeah, Jerry, I am all for, I believe people about as far as I can throw them, and I'm not that strong. So in the past, we've gone through articles to see, we've gone through the same article in 4 different media outlets to see, okay, what are they telling us? What are they not telling us? And between all 4 of these, can we put together a picture of what might have actually happened? Um, yes, being kind is amazing. I will be the first to admit, um, I am I can be a super evil super bitch. Because I was talking to my dad yesterday and we were talking about what happened yesterday. And I started talking to him about what I would do if I could personally get a hold of the shooter. And I scared my father. So I cannot say I am the nicest person in the world. However, if people treat me with respect, I am not going to be I'm not going to out or let's say I'm I'm a full proponent of staying in my own lane and minding my own damn business. However, when I see people on social media celebrating the fact that everybody that somebody died bec- because only because of the fact that he had opinions that they didn't agree with. So I was sent the video and I sent it to a few people. And although it is a very, very gruesome video, hmm, um, update weapon found. Yeah. Um, your assumption, I can neither deny or I can't, comment on that, but your assumption, you can keep assuming that. Um, when you are the when you are actively celebrating someone else's death, I think everybody should watch that video for this. And I'm gonna try to put this as eloquently as I can, but they wonder how people get radicalized. This is how people get radicalized. Um, Current chaos. Once seen it. You seen it. You can never forget. I saw it by accident. It's awful. Yeah. Um. I was thinking 762, but um. Yeah, the ammo had trans and anti-fascist stuff written on it. Okay, so I'm going to try to get to my point. Um, when I believe everybody should see it. Just like I think everybody should see the World Trade Center footage. Um, not because it not for the like to torture anybody, but here is my thought process. If you see what death actually looks like, because I've seen death. I've seen death up close. It's not pretty. No matter if it's from an injury or an illness, it ain't pretty. I've seen lots and lots and lots of death. Remember, I was military and I worked 6 years in an acute care hospital on acute care floors with I've had patients who survived GSWs who went to rehab. Not pretty, no matter if they survive or not. Um, but here is my thing. If everybody sees it, all of this social media people hiding behind keyboards and going, "Oh yeah, it's okay. He did this or he did this or this is what you get for talking about things that people don't like." These people have no idea what death actually looks like. That video showed you front, up front, up close and personal what death actually looks like. Like Dairy Green, I wasn't a big fan of Charlie Kirk, but he made people think you could believe him or not. He educated the younger generation. They were given the chance to speak. Yes, and it's not that I agreed with everything, because I've also said thousands of times on this channel that I don't always agree with everyone. Mr. Squid and I don't always agree. And you know what? That's okay. That's the great thing about being, one, an adult who has critical thinking skills, and two, that you can the great thing about freedom of speech is you can think what you want, and as long as it does not involve harming somebody else or impeding on their freedoms, you can think and say whatever you want. There are limits, of course, but, like, he made people think. He made people think. And it's like, yeah. And now people have seen the ugly face of murder. Like, and this is what happens. And I'm gonna bring up my Facebook page from yesterday. Not my Squid. This is my personal page. But it does. I wrote a post yesterday, a short one, and I'm like, let's see. I just want to see what people think of it. Let's see. I got to go to my page. I'm going to read it. I'm not going to show you guys my personal account because most people have seen my personal account, but like, I've also talked to a couple creators, and I have the permission of a creator to share their video. I was going to make a montage of like people's reactions, positive and negative. But it's I put up a post, and I was sharing a shit ton of videos yesterday. I said something along the lines of, I have to actually find when you change the definitions, and I'm going to say some words right now that YouTube doesn't like. So, and thanks Unhung Hero for the 50 Squid Pro memberships and the $5 super chat. RIP Charlie. However, I'm going to say some things that are probably going to get my channel or my oh, thank you. You brought me a flower? Okay. Angel. Not that they're going to get my channel demonetized, but they might get this stream demonetized because I wrote in this post, when you change the definitions of racist, fascist, and evil and use them as weapons against people who don't agree with you, shit like this happens. If you've ever advocated for political violence, rioting, looting, or calling someone any ist name just because they don't agree with you, kindly sit on this, spin around, and fuck all the way off. Was what I wrote yesterday. And I said, yes, they're the party of tolerance, but this, I've been sent some things and I've seen some things. We're going to show some people's not TikToks, but some Instagrams. We're going to show some blue skies. And we are going to, I have never been the type, two things in life: mind your business, stay in your lane. However, when you wish death, I haven't gotten any death threats, but I've gotten CPS threats that people are going to call CPS on me because of her. I am almost to the point of calling, because there's a person who made some comments on her Facebook post who happens to live in Milwaukee and happens to work with children at a school. I want her ass fired. I've never ever been that type of person to call and get somebody fired. But now you can fuck all the way off, because there are people in this world that I do not like. There are people that I damn near will, if I cared enough, I would hate them. But hating takes too much mental energy and people aren't worth it. However, I never, ever, ever would talk like this. This is some fucked up, absolutely godforsaken shit right here. And how these people can sleep at night Oh, wait, because they're too selfish and self-absorbed and fail to realize that there's other people in the world besides them. Um, Pup Hylas. I hope they do Joe Rogan next. Nice. Can we do Ben Shapiro next? These are actual Blue Sky accounts. I'm sure somebody already did. I got this from somebody else. So this was posted under Adam God for freaking Schwartz posted, my observation from the last few hours of monitoring U.S. social media is that Democrats are universally denouncing political violence and calling for calm, while MAGA are escalating rhetoric and lusting for retribution against the broad categories of people they identify as their enemies. The projection in that statement, and this person had posted, I went to Blue Sky and confirmed several entries of this screenshot. Do you think these people align more with MAGA or Democrats? That's where I got this from. And then, like, yeah. And then there's this, Democrats, Charlie Kirk, Republicans need to calm down. If we weren't calm, do you think we would have lit some cities on fire last night? Guess what? We didn't light cities on fire because we have some fucking decorum. There are some people who identify as Republicans who have no damn decorum. See Florida court systems. See some people in California court systems. However, yeah. So this was from them, but like I'm just gonna show you guys all of this, and then I have some screenshots and stuff that I took myself. There was a couple that I took that I'm going to show you guys. People are mentioning, well, Charlie said, and this is the problem with people. When you put a quote from somebody, make sure you're putting the entire quote. Because this person, and I'm reading a different post. Charlie Kirk once said, I can't stand the word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up new age term that it does a lot of damage. So that was their justification for him being shot and killed. Okay? And then my ass posted, tell me you don't know what you're talking about without telling me. If you're going to put it, at least do it correctly. Here's the entire quote. So that is what the Democrats keep saying, and that the talking point. Well, he said he didn't like the word empathy. Empathy is a made-up term. Okay? If you're going to put it, at least do it correctly. I can't stand the word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up new age term, and it does a lot of damage. Here's where the rest of the quote comes in, and why never take shit out of context, or when you see a quote that looks a little like wonky, go do your research and find the rest of the quote. I much prefer the word compassion, and I much prefer the word sympathy. Empathy is where you try to feel someone's pain and sorrows as if they're your own. Compassion allows for understanding. On a side note, the whole quote is not so bad. But if you take, I hate empathy. I hate the word empathy. If you take just that quote, if you take that quote, I'm sorry, Deborah, the only people who I have heard calling that are excited about this or calling for any violence of any kind are Democrats right now. I have been all over Twitter and all over X and all over Facebook for the majority of last night and today. The only people that I can see that are calling for any kind of violence or happy about this at all, or any sort of retribution, is Democrats. So I love you, but I kindly disagree with you on this one because I have not seen it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but hours of scrolling through thousands of people's comments, the only Republican comments that I have seen negative are people pushing back against these people, saying you should be fired, or you're a shitty human, or you should, rethink your life. Yeah, but moderate Democrats are to some of these people Republican. So I respect your opinion, but I kindly disagree with it right now because that's not what I've seen after hours of searching. People are mentioning J.K. Rowling, Matt Walsh, just, and we are going to go to my Twitter and my yeah, even buffed old man, to gauge the level of odd political discourse, just look at the BS that the House Democrats did yesterday and when a moment of silence was called for. Yeah, even the freaking New York Yankees yesterday did a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. The New York Yankees baseball organization in one of the most liberal cities in the entire world did a moment of silence, and nobody booed for that. I used to, but I don't anymore. I used to before people went off the rails. The amount of unhinged leftists is far more than the amount of unhinged right-wing nuts, especially as far as direct action. Yeah. I'm blaming a party for their reaction, not the actual crime, but their reaction to the crime. But when you see
right now,
cheering
True socialist.
because
All right, so Trump just posted this about 4 minutes ago. He said the great and even legendary
they were on live. I'm not going to get yeah, I'm a little libertarian. I am too. I'm more like I'm a leave me the F alone kind of like. I want my constitution. Like, I want my rights. I want to be able to light up a time or two. But yeah. Hey Tammy, I'm so saddened by this act of evil. Thank you for talking about this. I believe any political or politician or influencer encouraging violence should be held accountable. Yeah. And there's things like this.
Those little weirdos with podcasts. Just know your necks are on the line. Your necks. No. Your necks. Hello?
So it's the
Bitch, did you hear Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck? Actually, no, I'm listening to Man Down by Rihanna. State of the world getting so bad, I'm gagging over any fucking thing these days. So apparently at Utah Valley University, Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Bitch, I don't even know what to fucking say to that one. Except you got me fucking gagging. Let this be a lesson to all those other conservative freaks, those little weirdos with podcasts. Just know your necks are on the line. Your necks.
See? You're next. Joking on his wife's latest post. Now you're this Malika Cobb or whatever her fucking name is. I really don't care. Now your children have no father. The only reason I care is I want to know who you are so I can find your employer, call them, and let them know what a shitty human you are. I will never be MAGA. We are here today because of their division and hate. Deborah, I'm sorry, but you have it backwards. Because if we had division and hate, we would have been out breaking shit, rioting. That's not the kind of people we are. We are through action, voting, getting shit done. We take action on paper, and with words, not with physical violence. Please explain this. Like, Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him. Literally, let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. This person was Omar. So, this was the day before. So, but shit like this is what happens when you change the wording of definitions, or you change the definition of words. Donald Trump is a genuine threat to this nation. He's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. For one, we are not a democracy. excuse that shit. We are a constitutional republic. There is a difference. We are not a straight democracy. So when people say, he's killing our democracy, no, bitch, it's not the way this shit works. He is literally a threat to everything America stands for. When you talk like this, just because someone has different ideas than you are the problem. And if you can't see that you are the problem, I don't know what to tell you. You're too far gone. If y'all people that think like this cannot see that you are the problem, when you change definitions, there is a big difference between a Nazi and Donald Trump. You don't have to like Donald Trump. You don't have to like his ideas, his policy ideas. But there is a big difference between a racist, a fascist, this, that. 2015, nobody thought he was that. 2014, everybody loved him. Obama said he was the American dream. The only reason people hated him is because he ran on the opposite side of the ticket. We heard for 10 years. 10 years. Well, yeah, we know that Joe Biden didn't write that because Joe Biden's presidency was 4 years of what I feel was elder abuse. And I don't like Joe Biden at all, but like elder abuse. If he would have been a patient of mine in the hospital and I was seeing the way his family is trying to prop him up and make him do certain things and act certain ways, any mandatory reporter in my hospital would have reported that shit for elder abuse, financial abuse. Just, it would not have been pretty. But yet, in Washington, that's an acceptable behavior, which is a sad state of affairs. Like, I don't have to like the man to realize that that was a really shitty thing to do to him. A really shitty thing to do. We all saw his decline. The man should have been taken care of. Should have been kept out of the public eye and protected and taken care of health-wise. Not shoved out in front of the world. It's a sad state of affairs. Like, and I don't have to like him to be that. I don't have to like him for that to be think that's inappropriate. And that's not, and I'm not saying that because I didn't like his policies. I'm saying that as a therapy assistant who literally saw elder abuse. That's what it is. I worked with dementia patients. He's got dementia. He had dementia written all over him from like 2019. I could see signs of it. Yeah. And that to me is elder abuse. Elder abuse. Yes. That both sides do that. And people like Biden and Sheila Jackson and Al Sharpton have done it much more. Yeah. Maxine Waters. We're gonna get to that. Oh, then there's this.
These sort of awful thoughts you have, and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt,
and that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Turning Point USA has confirmed that he was shot. And there are a number of
then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Basically saying that he deserved it. He's been fired, apparently. Thank God. MSNBC, Then there's this.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
And goodness knows the wicked's lives are lonely.
So every one of those people should be fired from their jobs, but this is why it's important to watch that video. That video was awful. The close-up video, you could see everything. However, it's important because when you talk and you say, this person's evil, this person's evil, this person's evil, if you get someone with a mental health disorder who doesn't know right from wrong, and you tell them, well, this person's evil, this person's evil, this person's evil, and then wonder why things happen. It's like, this is why you cannot change the definition. And just because someone doesn't agree with you doesn't make them evil. It doesn't make them an awful person. It makes them a person with different ideas. See, and the thing that I've noticed in the last 10 years, probably 15, but more so in the last 10, is the difference between Democrats and Republicans. Republicans think Democrats are decent people with bad ideas. Republicans think Democrats are evil. And when you change the definition of evil, y'all don't know, y'all have not seen what true evil is. I have. I have friends that have seen what true evil is. A lot of people don't know, living in the US, what true evil is. Y'all have not seen it. You have not seen it. You have not seen it. You have not seen it. Like, it, I believe yesterday, and I also heard another phrase that it's great. Charlie just wanted to talk to people. He wanted to talk and debate people who had different ideas than him, wondering why, asking questions of them as to why they thought what they thought. I've seen him ask questions of people like, I don't understand this. Please explain it to me in your words. When you get rid of the people who want peace, you only leave behind the people who want war. Remember that. Yes. Regardless of who you follow, someone was murdered should not be celebrated. It's fucking sick, no matter if you like them or not. Taking their life is wrong. Wow, these people. Yeah. And Island, how are you doing this morning? I'm sad, but I'm okay. I just hate that we're here. Yeah, me too. Like, I want to discuss ideas, but it's just so hard because when you have a different idea than some of these people, they tell you, well, it's Trump's fault. Well, it's this, or you said words that we don't like. Okay, so that leaves me open to you telling me that I'm like this awful person that deserves to die. Like, hi, Chucky. Not feeling chatty today. I'm glad you're sharing your point of view. I'm just sharing what I've seen on the internet that pisses me off. I didn't speak about it last night because I didn't. Well, one, this house is kind of crazy the last couple of days because, health stuff. 3D life has dominated this week. But like, Van Jones the other day on CNN was talking about Irina, what's her name? Shoot. No. Irina Zarutska. Irina Zarutska was the woman who was stabbed on the train in North Carolina earlier this week. And where people watched her. And what kind of sad state of affairs where people die and we just watch them? And we're just okay with it. Van Jones made a comment, and this is paraphrasing because I don't want to bring his stuff up because one, CNN will freaking yeet me, and two, I don't want to hear that man talk anymore because his words are getting kind of crazy. Yes, but these people are the party of compassion and empathy, more like the party of death and destruction. Every plank of the party points to destruction of life and society. Yes. Look at this face. And I think I have it posted. Did you I thought I had it posted, but I might have posted it on my Facebook. Let's see. I'm going to share it to my Twitter. Oh, come on. This is how much I don't use Twitter. So I'm going to open it in a new window, hopefully.
I want to bring something to your attention right now. You notice how there's no cities on fire? It's because we have self-control. We're not animals. Sure, a sad day for America when a woman-beaten drug addict ODs and half our country gets burnt to the ground. We ain't the same. You know that, right? I want to bring something.
Yeah, we ain't the same. So we ain't the same. Like, if we were the same, everything would be on fucking fire right now. Hey, Nurse TT. What happened to Charlie Kirk will be a catalyst to the social culture shift we have needed for so long. And I'm really hoping that its turning point becomes the tipping point where we start going back in the other direction and realize that this shit is not okay. And if I could show that video on YouTube
I want to bring something to your attention.
without getting needed, I would show it. Just like everybody needs to see this. Everybody needs to see that. Everybody needs to watch that footage. Not because not that I want to torture anybody. Well, you know, I did tell my dad the idea that I had for the shooter, and he was a little scared. And to hear my dad not know what to tell me because he's scared of the ideas I have, is actually kind of funny. Yeah, Charlie held no office. He was not a legislator that could make laws that harmed anyone. He had no official power except the power of his First Amendment. And freedom of speech is a threat to leftism. Freedom of speech is like, here's one of the reasons that I don't care that people in here disagree with me. And that's why, Deborah, I hate to point you out but you were just the latest example. You're not the only example. So, but like, you were here and I didn't agree with you, but you're still welcome here. Just because we don't agree, that's fine. We have different ideas. As long as you've never called for political violence or said that you wished somebody would unalive themselves or be unalived just because you don't agree with them, you're welcome here. But see, if we only talk to the people who agree with us, that's all we ever hear. We don't learn anything. And maybe it's my love of psychology, but I like to know why people think the way they think and how they got to thinking the way they thought. Because I don't see things the same way as everybody else. But that's why we talk to each other so we can learn from each other. And maybe your experiences in life will change my opinion on some things as they have in the future. My views haven't always been the same. They've been close, but like I used to have a completely different opinion on the legality of marijuana. Like you used to have a different opinion on that. Now I'm completely like, to each their own. I used to have a different opinion on the medical system and healthcare, and my views have evolved based on working in healthcare and seeing shit with my own eyes. The more you learn about stuff, the more you learn about stuff, the more we can learn from each other, the more we grow. And I'm sorry, but my Discord's going off the frickin', and I don't know why. So I'm gonna close Discord because y'all are some channels lighten my Discord up. So we're just going to yeah, sometimes I have to tell Squidge she's wrong and a fat ass, but we still love each other. Exactly. Yeah, I'm incredibly sore yesterday because Zach, I did 40. It was pull-ups, which I can't do pull-ups, so I did jumping pull-ups, but pull-ups, bench press with 10 bench press at 35 pounds, dumbbells, and a 50-foot walking lunge, which I did with 15-pound dumbbells, 5 rounds of that. Holy crap. And then I stayed for an extra class and did burpees over a bench, more bench press, bike, ski. Oh, my whole body is sore today. So someone I knew nothing about, but now an immense admiration for is Spencer Cox, the governor of Utah. What he said yesterday touched me to core. I only watched part of what his speech was. I had I had a lot going on yesterday. I had a lot going on yesterday. That's why I didn't stream. I was going to do the stream with Spawn yesterday, and then a members only helping me pick my OT classes. And I I didn't oh, all right. I just have to respond to a message. Oh, maybe not. There we go. All right. It's just my workout this morning was weak. You should shame me. It's not my workouts that are the problem. It's the amount of food that I'm shoving into this pie hole here. I was supposed to stream with Rosalind yesterday, but maybe next week. Yeah. Agree. The more you deal with life events real time, the more your views on political and cultures are honed. Yeah, and I just yeah, I believe seeing videos of somebody on the roof, and it almost reminded me of Butler, where people were posting videos of seeing somebody on a roof. And I'm sorry, like we are not in that kind of society where having people posted on the roof. Charlie Kirk was not the president. Charlie Kirk did not have armed security on a roof. So people are posting videos of them seeing somebody on a roof and then running across the roof after the shot. This was not this was not if it was a 30-06, that was an insanely good shot with a 30-06, because it is, yeah. And hey, Star just joined. I was in total shock from yesterday. It reminds me of how precious life is. Yeah, it's one of those things of it's yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, we did an imam. First minute was wall balls. The second minute was RDLs. We did 8 minutes of that. So yeah, I was raised to believe we can agree to disagree as long as we part with a handshake or a hug. This has truly shocked me to the core. And it's one of those things when certain people started saying that words are violence, that words are not violence. You know that phrase, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words, like when people say things that you don't like, you just ignore them. Like, let them. If they don't like you and you don't like what they have to say, let them. Like, yeah, the left is using Charlie's words, but they're not. They're taking his words out of context. So they thought his or they were taking his words out of context, like that quote I read, where the empathy quote. It wasn't that he said, I'm not a fan of empathy, or I hate the word empathy. It tells you how to act, or the rest of his quote was, I much prefer compassion and sympathy. Empathy tells you to feel somebody else's. I forgot exactly the quote because I'm thinking about a lot of things right now, but like, you left two girls without their dad. Like, you left two. Yes, words can incite violence, though. That I agree with. And I believe that is what is happening here, though. When you change the definition of words to where this person doesn't agree with me, they're evil. That is like, but there's a difference between stating your personal opinion and inciting violence. Yes, the left is trying to justify the murder of a father. And it doesn't matter who it does matter who the shooter is, but right now, as far as my personal opinion on this, my personal opinion doesn't take into account the political ideations of the shooter. It's the response by one side of the political aisle that are happy, that are celebrating, that are saying he deserved it. Like, it's just, these are the same people, like the Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, she's another freaking hypocrite. She's a hypocrite because this is a woman who said today's acts. This is what she posted yesterday or yesterday afternoon. So she posted this. Today's act of political violence in Utah against Charlie Kirk is absolutely disgusting and unacceptable. We don't have to agree on everything, but we should all agree on this. Political violence is wrong and has no place in our democracy. But she also had said that people should be out a couple months ago. People should be out in the streets rioting. So, like, this is her. Oh, come on. Oh, it's a screenshot. It's not going to play. We're going to be in your face. We're going to be on your asses. We're going to make sure you understand what democracy looks like. You're going to find out. Democrats are the party of violence. Yeah, I see a lot about the Democratic congresswoman that was killed. The difference is I don't remember the right celebrating her death. And you won't generally because I don't celebrate anybody's death because that's just an awful thing to do. An awful thing to do. So, all right, I'm going to go. This stream's not going to stay up. Yeah, she sounds like Maxine Waters 2.0. I just need to vent. And I needed to get my thoughts out there because I wanted to record a video and I sat in front of my computer last night and I just couldn't find an appropriate thing to say. So this stream is not staying up. I'm going to private this video as soon as I'm done here. This was never meant to be a permanent stream. This was just a quick question. Are you going to get the court video of the trial yesterday of the hearing for Jeremy? I'm not sure. This afternoon, we are reading through Carly Gregg's appellate brief for the Supreme Court of the state of Mississippi. She was the 14-year-old at the time who unalived her mother and attempted to unalive her stepfather in their house in Mississippi. She's going all the way to the Mississippi Supreme Court. Her lawyers are something else. But yeah, we needed to openly discuss what happened. You're welcome. It's therapy. It's I cannot stand to listen to Crockett and her gangster dialogue. She should be arrested for promoting violence. A lot of them should. Yeah, a lot of people should. And I might do a short stream later when there's less emotion on some of these people. A deeper dive into some of these people. Yeah, someone called her out. You're one of the first people who always calls for violence among Democrats. Every single one of you as Democrats have blood on your hands. Whenever you hear something that you don't like, you always tell your brainwashed sheep to get violent. So you can't always tell people to get violent and then wonder why when people get violent, like, yeah. Jasmine Crockett just called Kayla Hamilton, who was unalived by an a random dead person. Yeah. I mean, like, it's And Republicans might be all up in arms and pissed and saying that they're pissed, but there's a difference between talking about how someone is a domestic terrorist or someone is a cunt. You know, if this triggers you, yes, if a hat triggers you, freaking somebody was debating with a certain somebody else right before the last election. And when he said it was Megan and somebody, and she had said, well, it's just a hat, and people shouldn't be attacked for wearing a hat. And the person she was debating with, and I will never forget the words he said, because he freaking pretty much victim blamed. But he said, well, maybe people should think about what they wear out in public so they don't get attacked. You just victim blamed. That's no different than telling a girl that she shouldn't have worn a short skirt, and that's the reason that she was ARPed. This is the same fucking thing. And you can't convince me, and nobody can convince me that anybody who victim blames is an appropriate. Like, you can't. You don't victim blame. Like, you don't victim blame. So people victim blaming because he is a friend of Trump's, or he was this, or he said this. People say shit that are assholes all the time. There's people all over this fucking platform that are assholes and say shit that other people don't like, me included. But like, I have a question. I'd like your opinion about my health. My email here. I'll post my email in the and you can email me. But yeah, and I preface any questions like that. I have no problems taking emails like that. Or if you're on Discord, you can contact me on there, or Twitter. I have no problem responding to anybody's emails about their health. I just preface it with, I am a occupational therapy assistant. I am not a doctor, and I am not your OTA. So I can give you questions to ask, possible things to consider. However, I am not providing you with medical advice because everybody's situation is different, and I'm not going to food for thought. Which party is going to benefit from this Horde Act? Honestly, I don't think anybody is going to benefit. In the only thing that might, trying to look on the bright side, things that might good that might come out of it is for more people that might be thinking that these things aren't real, that people really don't talk like this and really don't wish other people dead, because there is a faction of, and praying for you, there is a faction of the population that thinks that people really don't talk like this. Nobody celebrates somebody else's death. Maybe it's that for that percentage of the population to wake up, or for a portion of the population that might think that their rhetoric doesn't lead to a problem. It's like, I'm sorry, whenever you think that violence is a good thing, the only time that I ever think that violence is the answer is when it's your life and you are being attacked, physically attacked, not emotionally attacked. When someone attacks you verbally, you go back verbally. Like you verbally spar with someone. You don't bring a pew-pew to a word fight. And that's what someone did yesterday. They brought a high-powered rifle to a word fight, a debate. Call it what you want. I believe I saw a comment maybe from Cynthia that somebody else made a comment that they put the Constitution against the wall and put a bullet hole through it. Bullet hole through the First Amendment, because that is trying to silence people, because now you're trying to scare people into staying quiet. And I don't think that that's going to happen. I think just like 9/11, when they tried to tear us down and we came together and it built us up, I'm really hoping that this is a literal turning point, no pun intended, to Okay, it was Mike Rowe who said it. Thank you. I thought so, but I was like, I saw the comment quickly. And sometimes it is really hard when I have thoughts to get out to, I love talking to the chat, but sometimes it's like, I saw a comment, but I saw it quickly and I can't remember everything. So I might do another live when I have more information about things. This wasn't really a reading through anything. This wasn't really a going through facts of what happened. This was more just a this happened, and this is the response to people who there are people celebrating the fact that someone was unalived, and it just like this.
And saying that it was such a senseless, violent act. I want you to remind yourself that it was God's plan. I mean, really, it was actually his fault because, like, he should have been wearing, like, a bulletproof neck brace or something. Like, I cannot believe he walked out the house without it. I mean, really, you have to be aware of what you're wearing in public so that, like, people don't target you and you don't become a victim. So I guess this is just another example of God's plan.
Yeah, it's people like that I only see it on one side. Yeah, I don't like this. There's a mental health crisis in this country, and we don't have a pew pew problem. We don't have a car problem. We don't have a knife problem. We have a mental health problem, and people thinking that it's okay to physically injure and unalive people just for having different opinions than you. I dare some of those people to go to some foreign countries and express your opinions. You will be on the other side of that coin. Yes, there is extremism on both sides. However, there is more on one side because you didn't see anybody out in the street rioting last night. You didn't see anybody destroying shit. You hear people on social media saying this is wrong, this pisses me off, this makes me angry. But there's a difference between being angry and acting like a fool or acting like an unhinged lunatic. There's a difference. Yes, we are amongst a generation of crazy. Yeah. We need two parties because we need the balance and compromise. Neither party is completely right or completely wrong. Internet has exposed the extremes. Yeah, this I agree with pretty much 100%. It's no one is always right 100% of the time. But it's one of the reasons that we need to talk to people who don't agree with us, because part of being an adult and a functioning human being in a somewhat free society ensures that you don't become, how am I going to put this, YouTube, well, I haven't been YouTube friendly, you don't become brainwashed and only hear that all your ideas are great ideas. And I'm sorry, the parents' generation, like people who were born in the late 80s, early 90s, started this downward, their parents started this trend of like always telling kids you're good at everything and always telling kids you deserve a medal for everything and always being right. And it's like, no, you're not always right. You're not always special. You're not always the best at everything. Sorry. There are people in life who are going to be better than you at things. And that is okay. It's okay to be frustrated sometimes. It's okay to be upset at sometimes. I'm trying to teach the little one. You have all these emotions. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be sad. But it's how you respond to those emotions and what you choose to do. If you choose to act like a foolish person and scream and yell every time you don't get your way, you're going to have a really hard life. But if you take that, I'm pissed, I'm angry, what can I do about it? I'm going to go on the internet and try to change people's minds. I'm going to show the facts of why I think what I think and try to change people's minds. I'm going to try to have a discussion with someone I don't agree with in order to learn more about life. It I think one of the differences is Republicans will sometimes call out right wing nuts. Yes, most of the time. While Democrats often pander the crazies for votes. Yeah, that's one thing I have noticed, and it's a lot of social media and college kids, because college kids are very influential, but college kids are also kind of dumb in the sense of like, you don't know much, you're an adult, but you haven't really lived. You're just, yeah. Hey, JKD Buck. Yesterday was a sad day, and I don't even know Charlie Kirk. I'm just mad he got KO'd for speaking. Yeah, it's just, yeah, and I'm not like I said, this has to do with nothing with the political ideologies of the shooter or who the shooter actually was. How I feel right now has nothing to do with the actual identity and political ideations or whatever of the shooter. This has everything to do with these people. This has my thought process, and my anger and frustration right now has everything to do with this. People celebrating, like, yeah, like it. This is what. Oh, them some crazy eyes right there. So it's everyone gets a trophy mentality. My kids were born in the 90s and early 2000s. I refused to allow them to get the trophy unless earned. Trophies didn't exist in my time. And I was born in 85. So we got like ribbons. Like the first three got, like, we got a participation ribbon, but it literally only said participant. It didn't say like, it didn't say who, it was just a mark that like you participated in something that not everybody participates in. But you didn't get a trophy or anything or an actual placement ribbon unless you. So there's a line. That's when it started to be introduced, and I think that was tolerable. But I think now, like I'm trying to raise my daughter, and we are trying to raise our daughter to be a functioning member of society and be okay with being frustrated. Like sometimes she gets frustrated with things, and I let her be frustrated because she's 3. Like being frustrated with things is okay. Being frustrated is how you get the motivation to learn. Because if you're frustrated and you don't like that feeling, fix it. Don't rely on somebody else to fix it for you. Fix it your damn self. That's where and Gabby, I remember growing up and it was something you just didn't talk about who you voted for, but that's the old school way, I guess. Yeah. Like I remember going to school. I had my freshman year of high school, I had two teachers with the same last name. I didn't realize that they were married until after the school year was over and we saw them leave together, and it clicked. And it was like, oh, but they never announced that they were married. They never said anything. They were never together in school that we saw. Like, you didn't know the political ideations, like, you didn't know if your teachers were, I probably had some teachers that were gay, didn't know, didn't care. Wasn't part of, math, science, history. Wasn't a big deal. Like, it wasn't a big deal to us. But anyway, it's been an hour of me venting. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, this is not going to stay up. This is just me needing to vent. I may post a video. Yeah, you didn't know your teacher's first names back in the day. I may post a video later or do a live later. And it Southern Red Sox girl, it's kind of funny though how it's the left because nothing is right, and the Democrats whose symbol is a donkey are the same. I mean, yeah, it does happen on both sides, but one side more frequently than the other. One side much more frequently than the other. I would say probably like a 10-1. And I'm not. My dad taught me never to be an all or nothing person. So just because something, you never generalize. It's never all or nothing. There's always that gray area. So yes, it does happen, but it happens a lot less frequently than on the other side. So my parents are boomers. Nurse TT, I turned 40 in 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm borderline Gen X myself. I'm technically a millennial, but I'm that lost, 83 to 87 kind of people where we're like, we don't fit in anywhere. So yes, never say always. It's always wrong. All right. Y'all have a great day. And as Gabby says, be kind to each other because kindness costs $0. It also costs $0 to mind your business and stay in your lane. Like, respectfully disagree. And that's fine. Like, we can respectfully disagree. But see, that's the benefit of being me and you is we can respectfully disagree and we don't hate each other. Or at least I hope you don't hate me because I don't hate you. So it's just one of those things of I think it's more a side than the other. At least on social media, it appears to be way more than the other. In the mainstream media, it happens to be way more than the other. I didn't hear anybody on Fox News last night, and I watched a lot of different news channels. I didn't hear anybody on Fox News or Newsmax calling for the unaliving of anybody or rioting or looting. I've seen people make excuses that, well, Charlie said things we didn't like. It's just shitty. But anyway, I will see you guys at 3:00 for the Carly Gregg stream. We are reading her appellate brief to the Supreme Court of Mississippi. This chick's lawyers, because she's 15 and she's in solitary in a supermax prison right now because she is a convicted murderer. Yeah, celebrate your age, Squid. You're in the middle now. Yeah, I'm right there. And I joke about having a midlife crisis. I joke. It happens. I'm still the youngest of my friends and my family. So, like, as old as I get, they'll always be older. Anyway, y'all have a great day and be kind to each other because, as Gabby says, it's free. Bye, guys.